Do you know any other escapes from the back? Do you want to slide out?
How would I slide out?
Well, you can either.
Is it most important to get this arm over here?
It depends on what type of escape you're doing. So if you're sliding out, it's not as important. You can still control it, but basically you're going to like slide your hips flat. Yep. So now it can't really attack the choke. Now you can hold one hand can hold my arm, the other hand can peel off my hooks. Yep. And now you can start actually continuing out that way.
Am I just going straight out?
Yeah. Continue sliding your way out. Yep. And then turn it in. Yep. Right. And then you can also go the opposite way, go back. This one I think is probably better for smaller people. So lay back flat on me. Yep, and push yourself high. And keep trying to walk yourself out of my. Yeah, there you go. Now once you get to a certain point, see how my hooks aren't really doing anything to control? Right. Now you can start trying to take yourself to one side or the other, usually away from the choking arm. And so now it's hard for me to like.
Well, I should have gone that way. No, that's the way.
No, this is the right way. Yep. So, because otherwise you go the other way and you let go of the arm, then I've got the choke on the correct side. So now same thing, just get your body flat, right, and start walking your hips out. And now you're like almost on top of me. Now we're going to win a scramble, right? But you're going to win a scramble. You should, right? Okay. All right, good. All right. So now we're going to do. You're going to do top side. Let's go with this one. So show me how you open the guard. Show me 2 ways you open the guard. Good.
Two ways. What the other way?
What's the other way?
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, I did this. I was drilling this.
Just one. One hand on the chest, and then sit back. Sit back. All right? Back, back, back. And just one hand here, so I can't sit up to you, and then open the guard the same way. Yep. Back.
I feel like that's what I kind of did before. But
You did 2 hands on the hips.
Okay, and that's 2 different deals.
I mean, it's not 2 different deals. I wouldn't recommend the 2 hands on the hips. And
So
I'll show
you
you
just
why.
want to do
So
this.
put
Should be this
both
way
your
back.
hands on the hips, right? And now try to open my guard. Well, no, do one hand like you were, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't even need my hands.
Right. Yeah, you're bumping me.
Yeah, you don't have a frame to defend me pulling you towards me.
So it's better just to.
Yeah, it's better to have this one here, right?
Oh,
Because now, when I pull with, if you sit back, if I pull with my legs, go ahead, try to open it. I pull into my, my weight is transferring into your body, and then down your arm and back into my own body. Whereas when you do this, when I pull with my legs, it transfers to the hip, but guess what? You have this elbow joint that's a problem. Yeah, it pulls out as soon as it's here. Right, now I'm pulling, now all of it gets transferred into my stomach, right? Okay, so there's that. Do you know any standing?
What do you mean, like?
How to pass standing?
I mean, I just stand the fuck up, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can do that for sure. You could also put your arms in the armpits or put your hands in the armpits. Yep, and you can stand like that way. I can't like grab,
and I
pull
just
whatever,
try to stand
and
up.
stand up. Yep. Now put your knees together.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, and then you can just sit back. One knee goes in.
Do I sit down?
No, you basically sit back like you're sitting in a chair, and you're just trying to get one knee in between my legs. And once that knee gets in between my legs, then you start working your pass immediately. So it feels like this. So go down.
That's what I have a hard time with when I get there, like passing somebody.
Yeah, so go ahead, close guard. So I go here, so you can't use your arms. I come up and I sit back. And then I'm just waiting, right? Like I'm sitting in a chair, and I'm waiting for your guard to eventually get tired. I can do yep, and then look, it's one leg. One leg goes back, one leg stays in. That way I can start initiating a pass. I can go out, I can go across, I can back up, I can step around.
And when you're trying to pass, you're just wanting to get inside now, correct?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what you're doing.
Yeah, or be
And I'm just doing
or
like
you can,
this.
or you can be cheeky and try to go over the legs.
Right.
Bump their knees down, go straight them out.
Well, I feel like what happens in here when I'm trying to pass, I feel like legs are flailing everywhere, and I feel like I don't really go hard enough when I'm trying to pass somebody in here when we're rolling actually.
Well, so passing is a combination of going hard and being smooth enough in your technique to take away the angle and then not give it back, right? So like I could pass without going hard, right? If you're trying to keep me from passing, go ahead, right? All I got to do is just step by sometimes, right? Now I've created the angle, and now I wait for you to decide what you're going to do, right? Well, if you turn into me, yep, and I continue going north-south, Now I've taken, and I'm just taking those angles away. So I don't have to like smash you to pass. Unless I come down here, right? Unless I'm down here trying to low guard pass and you're trying to keep me from passing, then I gotta start using my head and my pressure and all that kind of stuff, right? I can't just be, you know, super fluid.
Well, see, what I don't understand about the passing is, are you doing that, when I say I'm doing, I can feel like I'm half-assed, I don't know. Like, it's like I'm not going fast enough or smooth enough, you know what I mean? Like, I'm never able to pass the pass hard.
I just don't think you have enough technique yet.
Yeah.
Like as in you haven't learned.
Because I'm running, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like I'm
you
running.
haven't learned enough techniques to pass effectively.
Right, okay.
So we'll add some little drills. It's like little drills like this, right? If, let's say you end up in a scramble, how often do you end up in a position kind of like this? Somewhat often? Okay, watch. So how easy is the pass from here? It's that easy.
Yeah,
Right?
I ain't never that easy.
So guess what? So how do you get better at that? You sit there with your partner and you practice.
Yeah.
You push in, you push pass. You push in, you push pass.
And what is he doing? He's just trying to get his knees in between, right?
Well, for practicing, he doesn't do anything.
Right.
But you have to build the muscle memory. When I get here, this is second nature and it's quick, right? And then I know what to do from here. But right now you're like, ah!
Yeah.
Right? There's no, I mean, think about why I do what I do. So I push in to get you to push back, and you push back. All I do is I step past your legs, and I guard something very specific, your hip. My other leg's supporting my knee's driving into you, okay? So other leg's back and stand and come up, yeah.
Okay.
And I can't, like it's super hard, right?
Yeah.
To defend because my arms are up here.
But is the butterfly guy, is that not a good position to be? I guess it depends on who you are.
Depends on who you are and how good you are. Right, I personally am not very butterfly. I like it for transitioning to things, but I don't use it super.
So it just depends on who you are, where you're comfortable, no matter what, where you're at.
Now, if you like to wrestle, you can do a lot of drags there, right? So if you have me in butterfly, so now basic arm drags were so it's just like a regular arm drag, right? You're gonna grab behind, and as you do that, you're gonna pull this leg out, and then you're gonna pull me this way as you scoot your body this way. Yep, and now you can start attacking my back, right? So it looks more, right? So come here. So it's really just a regular, I get a wrist, get behind the tricep, pull, and then come up, right? Guard this hip. You can do that. I mean, you can obviously do it in the gi too. It's a little bit easier in the gi because you have more control of the arm and stuff. It's like regular arm drag if you miss the arm, whatever. Do you have anything that you're aware of here? Okay. There's actually a ton here. It's just we don't spend a ton of time on it. Okay, so butterfly. We're not going to do open guard and no gi because it's just weird unless you know like David Eva sweeps.
I'm sure I've been taught about that.
Okay, go side mount. So I'm going to go top. I'm going to go on top of you on side mount. Go this way. So I want to see, come this way a little bit. Just want to super close to the camera. All right, so I want you to show me at least 2 escapes from side mount. So let's start with this arm. So try to get this arm on this side, framing. Yep, good. Okay. So show me a couple escapes from the side.
That's why I'm always stuck.
Okay. Yep. And so don't try to stand up necessarily. Try to what?
Get on your back.
Recompose. Yep, so try to get your legs back in front of you. So do the exact same thing you just did, right? But now just use that to recompose. Good. Perfect. That's one. That's the basic, most basic. Come back. Good. Legs that way. I want your body right here. Side. I want your side right here. Yep. Just so it's easier to see. Okay. Another one that you can do. So same thing here. You can take this hand and you can send it to my far hip, right? So send this hand to my far hip. Nope. Take this hand. See, now you're on my far hip, right? Now all you're gonna do is basically like bridge and reverse. Like a lot of times when guys go like this, so they start trying to go for this arm right here. Now you can basically go out like the back door. So you can kind of like bridge into me and slide your body out this way. Yep, come up and this is into your favorite position. Into what? Front headlock.
Oh, yeah, that's where I was going to go.
Right into your guillotine.
Okay.
Right? Yep.
Just sliding out. It's just a lot harder when somebody put pressure on you. Huh?
It is. You can do it in either circumstance. Go down. You can do it when the guy's here. Okay? Even if they don't have their arm on this side, you can do it here by basically send your arm to the other side. send the arm to the other side. Now give me a little bridge and then go. Yep, it creates space and you can do it. It makes it easier, and I say it's easier because the timing is better when you go down. Go down again. Think about it, if the guy is trying to attack this arm, okay, he is probably going to eventually start loading up on this side. And so now that gives you an opportunity to come out, yep, and now I've lost my attack on your arm, right? So it's a timing thing, you wait, you know the guy likes to attack their arm, great, as soon as his elbow passes to the other side of your head, and he doubles up, both hands on that arm, get your arm to the far side and go, right? Don't waste any time. So those are a couple of escapes that you can use from side down. All right, let's do knee on belly. So on your back. So any escapes from knee on belly? Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you can. One thing you can do is you can literally, you can just try to push the knee on.
That's
right. Yep. And
push it
try
that way.
shrimp away, right? Shrimp away, and try to get your knees in between you and me. Yep. I mean, it's super basic and isn't going to work a lot of times, but at least you know. It's
That's
same.
I don't, when I shrimp, I'm not getting my, I don't know why, but I'm tired or something, I'm not getting my knees in between me and those.
So when we do warm ups and we're doing shrimps, do a shrimp just like you would, and then practice the reverse really hard coming back. Shrimp and then reverse. Because really that's, yeah, because look, that's all you're doing, right? Is when you side mount me and I go to shrimp, the second step is reverse. Right? So it'll help you, if you do it in practice. Like
I see some of the guys doing it.
Yep.
Periodically.
It'll help you recompose because it's really just muscle memory, getting your body in the habit of shrimping and then bringing it back as soon as you get hips
So
away.
that's just a shrimp.
No, so go shrimp away first, and now bring it, and then bring it. When you do it, angle the knee across like this.
So it's a
Shrimp, and then, yep, but that knee, the reverse shrimp coming back, whatever the
Is it that way, back into that way?
whatever your bottom leg is.
So it's
So if you shrimp that way, now your bottom knee, angle this knee this way and keep it low to the ground as you reverse shrimp. Yep.
okay.
Then go the other way.
And that's gonna be, see,
Shrimp. Now put bottom knee. Yep.
and then here, and this is the one I pull.
Yep. And a lot of times you'll have something to, you know what I mean, like it'll assist you by having a body to like pull
Right.
with, right? But yeah, that's the general idea.
Okay, I just shrimp my ass off and never get.
And then you never bring your legs in between you and me, and they get right back to where they were, and then you're stuck, right? Okay, so scoot this way just a little bit. We're gonna go mount, some mount escapes.
I just would be bumping.
Okay.
I'm trying to go out the back, I guess. Is what I'm
Okay, so that one's a little. So if you want to do a bump, you got to do something with it. You can do trap bridge. Do you
Yeah,
know?
that's
So,
what you're telling me.
Trap an arm. Nope. Always just reach up. Nope. Grab the elbow. Just grab the elbow and pull it in. Like pull your. Yep. Just like that. Now trap with the foot.
How am I trapping? Like
You
that?
basically just like that. So I can't pull my foot out.
And
can't
I got
use
both
this
hands
post.
on this?
No,
You're talking-
just the same side, and then this one's gonna bridge into my armpit, and it's basically like no. You're gonna almost like you're hitting me with your forearm. You're gonna like hit me. So it creates space. You're gonna hit me at a 45, almost like you're trying to hit me towards the camera, into my armpit. Yep, and then you're bridging at the same time. Yep.
Okay.
Yep, and then you can.
You taught me that a couple weeks ago, and I already forgot.
That's right.
Trap bridge, and you were saying it to me during practice.
That's good. That's fun. So that's when the guy's hands come here. That's an opportunity for trap bridge.
And that's just here, and then you
So
trap the foot like that.
collapse the arm, right by attacking my elbow, right? Yeah, no, I would hug it a little bit lower than you
So
were.
just-
Yeah, that way now I gotta pull my arm out, right? And if I can't,
Yeah,
I've gotta offset my body.
And that's the trap on the foot. That is right here.
Yeah, so now, because if you don't trap the foot and you go to a big bridge,
That's easy to slip out.
go ahead, big bridge. No, it's fine. I can post, right? But if you trap my foot, no, and that's the thing is the timing thing, just like you did.
Right.
Like I was in the middle of talking, you went for it.
You got, yeah, they have to not be ready for. I mean, obviously.
Yeah, and that's why you do it all at once. Like they put their arms out, and you literally, it looks like this, right? I'm here, I'm defending, their arms come out, I trap, all at the same time, and then bridge right away, right? So it all happens before they can react, theoretically.
That's all I even have for you.
Okay, so the other one, you know, because you know how to shrimp. A lot of times when guys sit up like this, this is when you can push on the hips, 2 on 1, get up on your side, and shrimp and pull your knees in between. Yeah, that's it. That's it. But see how you're over here? Keeping in front of you.
How do I do that? So it's a shrimp.
You just want to keep your, yep, you're basically going to end up in like this type of position, right? A butterfly position. If you do it really, really well. You have one other that you could probably do. I'm going to switch a little bit. No, you're good. On your back. Okay, you can put both your hands on my hips. All right, do a big bump up in the air and then slide your knees in between you and me. Just bring your knees to your chest. So huge bump straight up. Yep, now bring your, yes.
That's what you taught me to.
There you go. It's a really easy one. Okay.
Bump hard, and push up. Sometimes I haven't been able to get that yet, but I'm
It's
working on it.
oftentimes you want to do it like same deal. You want to surprise. You don't want to like bump a bunch because then their body gets used to compensating for the bumping. But if all of a sudden they go from really, really still and their body relaxes and you give a huge bump straight up in the air and you've got your arms extended and you don't bend them after you bump them, more often than not you can get your knees in between them. Okay, so back escape. So I want you to face the camera. Okay, I want to see how you escape the back. Okay, good. Yep. So you don't want to turn. You generally don't want to turn over, right?
What I do?
Because if you turn over, go ahead, start turning over. Grab my hand, right? You start turning over, and I just follow you. We end up back in a very similar position, and I start flattening up. So what you want to do is you actually want to drive your head into like the back of, basically my tricep, right? Yep. So you can actually like kind of attack the arm a little bit here, right? And they have to like deal with that, and so a lot of times they fall flat on their back. Now get your shoulders flat. And look towards the ceiling. Keep putting pressure in the back of my arm. Yep. And now keep pushing your hips and your shoulders flat to the mat and slide out from, yes, this bottom leg. And then you can actually use that. Now you can walk your hips up. So keep this nice and tight. Walk it. Nope, don't turn in. Bring your hips up under my shoulders. Yep. And now you flatten me out and now you can start to let go. And you can take.
So I roll over?
I'll show you. Because you got so much of it, I want to show you, make sure you know. No, you yeah. So you get the hooks in. So seatbelt go one over, one under. Yeah, go to the other side so the camera can see it. Yeah. So pull goes to the other side. I get flat. Start walking my hips out, right? And now as I start walking and I get my hip, now I can start just simply, now I can let go of the arm. And I can start walking my hips up. And then, right? So it's just, eventually you're going to clear the arm and let go and recompose, or not recompose, but reestablish your side mount. Okay. In more situations than not, you're not going to end up overtaking a side mount. They're going to let go at some point, and you're going to end up on top probably in some sort of half guard or something. All right, so it's rolling. So Josh,
Damn, 2 hours a day?
Yeah, you guys will freaking.
what we're going to do is I'm going to try to keep it centered on the camera the whole time. We're going to do a couple things. One, we're going to go over positional stuff. So I want to see basically like how many things do you know from various positions.
Not much.
Well, that's fine, right? Like, that's okay. So if we get to something and I say, hey, show me 2 of something, take the time to try to think through and see if you can come up with 2 of whatever it is. But if you get to a point where you're like, I don't really know, if I tried anything at this point, it would just be guessing, not just out. And then we'll just move on from there. I might have you put on like a loner gi or something, because I really want this, I'd like this to be a 2-part thing. Basically, we start in no gi, and I want to see what you can do in no gi in those positions. And then because gi is so different, and there's other things that you can do that are unique to gi, I'd like to see that on the back end too. So we'll probably stop the video at some point, throw our gis on, or grab me a loner gi, and then if you have anything additional in those situations, like if I say, hey, show me 2 submissions from the guard, and you show me an arm bar and a triangle, but then we get to the guard and the gi, you're like, well, I know an arm bar, but the setup's different. Well, if the setup's different, I don't necessarily need to see that right now, but if you're like, oh, but I know how to do a cross lapel choke, well, that would be an additional thing that you could only do in the gi, right?
Right. I mean, the only rolling I've done, I mean, if I'm being honest, like here periodically, like I told you, then I learned more, what, 3 or 4 years ago when I was up and coming.
Right.
We were up there.
Yeah.
And I was doing the basic stuff.
Yeah.
But I won't, then other than that, I've got in here and just wrestled and got by because I can
Right.
do a rear naked choke and a guillotine. You know what I mean? I'm
Which
just
is-
jumping in there.
Which is
Like,
fine.
I barely knew what half guard was. Still
Right.
do. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
which is great. So like we'll talk about all of that today because then what'll happen is I'll take this video. Once I get 2 or 3 more of people that have been comps, I'm gonna put it all together and upload it onto YouTube. And it'll be a resource for the person that obviously did it,
Right.
but it'll be a bigger resource for us and like the folks at Sandy Springs when we do evaluations and that type of thing. It'll give them a familiarity that they don't have that only probably I do right now because I'm trying to this, right? So that'll probably take up the majority of the time. Let's see how far we get. If we have some time left over at the end, I might just move around with you a little bit and see how you apply those things. But
I mean,
all right, ready? So guard, so close guard. So I'm gonna be in your close guard. I want to see if you give me at least 2 sweeps and 2 submissions from close guard. So you can start with the sweeps. What are 2 sweeps you know from close guard? Yep.
Is it just a bump? Like
Yep. Hip bump.
Is that
Yep.
okay?
That's it. That's good. That's a hip bump sweep. Yep. Occasionally recenter us. Just, yeah, so you can see that.
And
Do you remember? I will occasionally remind you if I know that we've gone through this before. Do you remember the pendulum sweep?
not really. I do, but I don't. You know.
Okay, that's fine.
I don't even know anything. I'm just gonna do like this. I'm just gonna do something like this. I feel
This
like
is similar to pendulum sweep, but you trap this arm instead.
I'm trapped.
So no, this is good. This arm stays. If you can just trap this, right? Now you can basically open your legs and start kicking this into my armpit and kick this leg over here. Start shooting your hips up. No, you're gonna take me this way because I
Right.
have this way. So your left, my right. Yep. Yep. It's a basic.
That's it for me.
That's good. That's good. That's a basic pendulum. Okay. There's not as much in no-gi, obviously, right?
Okay.
Like you can do scissor sweeps in no-gi, but they're harder. You can do those in the gi, much easier. All right, 2 submissions from the guard. Good.
Right, somewhere.
Yep, pretty close. And I'm not doing a lot of corrections today.
Right,
Just
oh,
see
yeah,
what
I
you
know. I'm
Yep.
thinking, I'm thinking you guys should be corrected already.
Yep.
So this is here. Is that the triangle?
Yeah, you get strong ass legs.
Okay, see, I didn't know what I was doing, so that's it.
Yeah, it's a mess.
I get confused
Yeah, your,
because-
your triangle's a mess, which is fine.
Right.
But you got the right idea.
Right.
So it's a push pull.
So
it's a you hold one arm, you push the other.
So I
right?
hold
No, do 2 on 1. Yep. Now push one and pull the other. So pull one towards you, push. Now throw the triangle. Yep.
and then I would.
Then you'd reach up. Once you close it, you'd reach up. This hand would stay. Yep. This hand would stay. This hand would go up and grab your own shin. And then
Okay.
yeah, there's a few other steps, but that's the gist of it. Yep. All right. Let's do half guard.
So that's like this, right?
Yep. Well, first of all, did you have any other submissions or anything that you knew from? Yeah.
Nothing. But what are they?
Well, you can go here maybe too. Which one are your favorite submissions?
The guillotine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess
You don't
I
do
do
the
rear
guard a lot?
stuff and I've never. If I'm doing it, it's like a defensive.
Do you
move.
remember the Kimura?
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back to the guard real quick. Since you know the Kimura,
Somewhat.
let's connect those two since you already know those two. All right. So set up the Kimura.
So that's just
So
here.
yep. You connect your hands.
That's
Yep.
this, and then push it back.
Yep, you can pull your hips out towards the arm, get your knee up high, so it's blocking behind.
Okay.
It just has to be in front, doesn't be on top. Okay, so stop right there. Let's go, so come, let go.
So now, one of the things you can do, close guard, since you know the guillotine, I know that because I see you the whole time. You go to set up the Kimura, and the guy keeps, and he tucks his head like this. And keeps his arm. So now,
Yep, you just turn that into your favorite submission, which is
Okay, I could use that.
so you should use that.
Normally, I've just set up trying to do it for a defensive move. You know what I mean?
So one more time, just might as well go close guard, close guard. So you're here, sitting up in the guard, right? Pull the guy down, break him down, so he gets his hands on the mat. Boom. Yep, you go to set up the Kimura. He pulls his arm in. pretty
Oh,
easy.
yeah.
Head, and then hit the guillotine. Yep.
I might be able to pull that off.
I know, that's why I wanted to show it to you. All right, half guard.
And when I'm in half guard, correct, that's just like, does I have this foot, does these foot need to be over
So
each other? or-
there's lots of different ways to do it. One way that you can do it is you can put your, let's do it on this side so. Good question. So there's different ways you can do it. One way is you can figure four your legs, which means close like a triangle.
Right, that.
You can.
But that's not a good idea.
It's not a great idea. The other thing you can do is you can put this foot on top of this foot. Yep. And you're basically just pressing in. Keep your knee. Now you want it kind of like in the hip, right? In the kind of so that I can't push it this way, but I also can't clear it this way. Yep. You can do other things. You can put your foot on the hip like this. You can put the foot to the inside like this. So there's a bunch of variations, but as a general rule, I would say most people. This is the only thing is that you got to be careful of. But if you're pressing down and you've got this, it's hard for me to like turn, right?
And I just want to keep you away from you, really.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're attacking, yeah, I mean, generally speaking, you stay up on your side and you don't want me to flatten you out. You guard this arm, this is the arm that's really trouble, right? So anytime my arm's coming in, you want to basically block that shoulder and bicep, yep. So anytime they're trying to reach. See, I can't do a lot. Like I can't flatten you out. I'd have to clear your knee. And even then, I still need this hand to come around, right? So if you're still doing this, I can't really put the pressure on you. And I can't really keep your knee from being cleared if, even with my head and my arm and this arm, if this arm is being blocked. So what happens a lot of times is guys clear the knee like this, and then they stop blocking this arm, right? They let go of this arm, and they start focusing on my upper body, and then all of a sudden this hand gets in, and then all of a sudden I can flatten it out, right? So if you keep guarding that arm, it makes it very difficult for me to do anything additional, including pass. Okay. So do you know anything from any type of sweeps or submissions from half? Okay, you can always do the Kimura from here.
Oh, I can?
It's harder, but yeah, I mean, yep, you just snag it up, and it's just harder because you got to start pulling your hips out, and like you don't
Well,
have.
I guess can I do a guillotine with that?
You can do a guillotine, absolutely. Yep, you can do the same setup that you did for the Kimura. Yeah, so you go for this, and the guy tucks the arm like this, and they don't tuck their chin well enough, and you can suck up the guillotine. Yep.
I don't know why I haven't done that before. Like I'm just using it as a defensive move, I guess. I don't know why.
Yeah, you got to start moving your legs.
Because I've always thought I guess I always thought I couldn't do it there for some reason. You know?
No, you can actually do it. Ideally, I mean, you got to think. If you could get me here, right?
This is the best guillotine, right? Because my head's on this side. I can't hop my hips over. I can't unwind the choke. Like this is the worst case scenario for me. Because I can't, I really just, it's hard to defend this guillotine.
But you can do it on this other side,
I
right?
did.
Yep. Boom. You get it here. You just got to start getting you got to start probably moving your body and using, and using your hips, and just don't let me.
Because they're going to spin around like Nick.
I want to go this way.
Okay, this way.
Right. So if you know I want to go that way,
Right.
it gives you the advantage. You know, you can start putting your feet on the inside like this and use it like an elevator, right? So, because what I want to do is go ahead, put the guillotine on. Boom. Yep. So all of a sudden I start doing this because I don't want to be in the guillotine. Well, you don't want me to go this way, right? So now you can start using this as like an elevator. So you can either like extend me and close, right? Get your guard back, right? Now you're on that side. Now I'm really stuck. Or if you end up taking a half guard on that end, now you've taken my defense away, right? My body wants to go that way. So if you can move your hips so that it ends up on the side, then you can't do it. I can do it, right? Okay. So you don't have anything else out of half? All right, butterfly.
No, definitely not.
So sit up. So basically, what are you trying to do here?
Just keep you up on that. Yeah, right.
Well, no, this is it can be an offensive.
I'm just so uncomfortable on my back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're gonna get to the top here soon. So, but this is still an offensive position for the guard. What do you think are some basics that you want to do here? What should
Sweep you, I guess.
Okay, how would you do that? How would you control my body?
You should rip it off.
That's a little bit harder here.
I don't know.
Underhooks, right? So if you get a control of my underhooks up or under my
I can kind of push you.
yeah,
up.
you can use your legs and your upper body to do, the sweep, attempt submissions, all kind of stuff. But if you can connect your hands behind me, right? Yeah. This is where I'm in real trouble, right? Now, I mean, you could even go as far as basically extending me, kicking me away from you and standing up and then coming on top of me, right? Have you ever seen guys do that? So extend me with the legs, no, extend me out, like push me this way, like away from you. Yep.
Let my hands go.
No, keep your hands together. Yep. Like push me away. Yep. Now you can kind of like